back to Open Line tonight. We are talking with Robert Serrill and Odessa Kelly, both folks here from Nashville who are activists in this community who were part of the rally on Saturday before it turned into chaos. And they are here helping us understand more about what is going on from a perspective that I just don't have. So Robert and Odessa, thank you so much for being with us. We want to get straight to the phone lines. That's what I promised before the break. Taylor is on the line. Taylor, thank you for calling. What's your comment or question?
Well, thanks for the show, and your two guests, I think, are making great points, both of them, on a lot of different issues. And there are a lot of issues, but I have watched TV all day, listening to politicians, policemen, protesters. What I have not heard one bit of is what brought us here, and that is the systemic problems in these laws and training rules and so forth that allows a police officer to put his knee on a 47-year-old man's neck, choke him totally to death, and he cries out for his mother twice as the last words in his life, a mother who's been deceased for 2 years. How sad. But what is being said about, shouldn't we change this law? Should that not be outlawed to that kind of maneuver? Should it not be a change that the Attorney General in the district where the policeman works should be step aside and let independent attorney general from some other part of the state investigate both the charges and handle the trial all the way through? The protection the police unions have put up to protect them all the way through any kind of shooting, and I'm not anti-police, but I am anti-protections and crazy laws that allow things like this to happen time again, shoot a man in the back. We didn't need a Minneapolis case. We got enough cases right here in Nashville to protest about. So that's my point. And why is nobody talking about that? What they want to talk about is who can we prosecute for breaking a window. How about taking care of the problems that brought us here? God bless these groups. Thank you.
Taylor, thank you very much. Odessa, Robert, anything to say?
I would just say that, ironically enough, that the tactic that police use so often is not their training. They're not trained to use that part of their knee and put it in somebody's neck, but you see it so often. That's the thing about it. Shouldn't that be like an abuse of power within the guidelines of the police department? If we find out that you're using your knee to asphyxiate or cut off the air of a man or a woman, that should be grounds for suspension or something. But when you got a police force that are not being held accountable by their subordinates or the people that are above them, then you get this type of outcome. They have nobody to answer to. He get to choke a man, kill him, and go home. He went home and had dinner that night and watched TV. Because nobody asked him any questions. Nobody held him accountable. And they had the evidence. The other police officer just stood there and say a word. This is the issue. That wasn't even part of his training. When a police officer is going to be held accountable? It starts with the chief, Chief Anderson. You need to local. I ain't talking about national. I'm talking about all the problems we got locally. All the men in the 37208 area code that's going back and forth to jail, that they locking up, highest incarceration rates in the country. How is that? How is that? You got a police on every corner. You got a precincts miles away from each other to police this little area? Does that not seem ironic? And so I think it starts from the top up. I would say Chief Anderson, but then I would start with our president too. Because when you have rhetoric that is setting the world on fire and people are feeling empowered and emboldened to act and say things that they never would have done. But it's like giving a kid a candy stuff, giving a kid a sucker. Like, go ahead. I've never seen it like this.
Let's go to our next caller. We have Pat on the line. Pat, thank you for hanging in for so long. What's your comment tonight?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Let me tell y'all, I applaud y'all. I think y'all doing the right thing and taking up for yourself. I got a great grandson. He's black and white, but he's black. You know, his skin is black. And I'm afraid when he get older, the police might walk up and kill him like they did that guy, y'all, saying. It's not, our policemen here don't care about the black. That if they see a white man walking down the road, they leave him alone. But if they see a black man walking down the road, they watching like a hawk to see where he going and everything like that. Yes, I applaud y'all. I'm glad y'all taking a stand like y'all are. And God bless y'all. And I hope y'all get done what you want done. Thank you.
Pat, thank you. Thank you for just hanging in there for so very long. I want to ask you both about something that comes from my perspective, because I've struggled with this, not just this past week, but for a while now. And it's something that is really gaining a lot of momentum. A phrase that we're starting to hear now is white silence. As a white person who cares about what is going on, sometimes I don't know what to do that will make a difference, that will be received, that will land well. Give me some advice. Odessa, you go first.
Ooh, okay. Vote. We can start there. I think in a year like this, who you vote for says more about you and your character, right? Like, I'm done talking to the police. I'm talking to the people who pull the levers to hold these people accountable. And that is us. Anyone who can hear my voice, who is watching this, right? It's like James Baldwin talked about. We're in a time where the reason this keeps happening is because it's a reflection of who we are as a country. And we are at a point where we have to define that. We have the right to be better than the definitions that currently are handling our behavior. So with that, vote. Vote in a way that causes protection, not just for you and your interests. And when I say you, Carrie, I'm not talking to you, but I am explicitly talking to white people, because you carry a level of privilege that we do not carry, right? Go to your church. If you in church, tell people in that way. If you are truly a man, a woman of God, then you will vote in a way that causes equity for everyone else, and not in a way that only protects certain people's interests. As to Robert just talked about, it's not only about Chief Anderson, it's how you vote for judges in the midterms who need to show up. You know, it's how we vote for our state representatives. It's how we vote for the president of this United States. That is one of the first things that we can do in doing this. The second thing that we can do is that we can just demand that this type of stuff ends. Right now, everyone can pick up their phone and call the mayor, right? Call the mayor, call your council person, demand that this changes right now. That it changes right now. They can call emergency power. They got all type of creative ways that they can put things in place. That's the reason why we vote for them, right? We give them the autonomy and the authority to act on the behalf of the people. And right now, what the people want to see is immediate change. So that is something that you can do. All these things about, well, I'm gonna go give to a food bank and I've done my due diligence. No. That's not where it is. What we need white people to do is to go where you have the most effective power. Black people can feed themselves. We ain't never had a problem doing that, right? But what we do have a problem is getting equitable policies that alleviate a lot of the stuff that's happening. That's what we need. The fact that we ripped all the money out of the Barnes Fund, that's violence. That right in there is violence, that we don't have any money in the Barnes Fund so that we can have affordable housing. And affordable housing in the city, for some reason, the stigma is just building another projects. Like I said earlier, if you make under $70,000 in Nashville, guess what? You probably need some affordable housing if you're gonna try to live in this city.
That's exactly right.
It's a house across the street from me that's going for $420,000, 1,800 square feet. Who doing that? Who getting them type of loans? Robert just said he made $6K and couldn't get $150,000. It's what, 100? It's 100 people moving to Nashville every day. How many of them people black? I'll wait. There you go. That's the answer right there. So who can attain the level of success? Yeah, we got to have lawyers, teachers, and everything else to keep the city moving.
Yeah. All right, I have to take another quick break. Oh gosh, I just jammed my hand up. I always appreciate you just getting to the heart of the matter, and you do it so well. But we're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back right after this.